Good afternoon. This is Hunter, or Cifaretto, my character name on the Ascension World of Warcraft private server Bronzebeard, a Classic Plus server where I mostly play Protection Paladin and discuss like the tanking meta, gear sets, and everything that comes with this really great private server, Classic Plus, Retail Minus, Wrath of the Lich King talent extraordinaire. I really love the server, and I highly recommend anyone who's into World of Warcraft or has taken a break from Classic or Retail to come play. Without further ado, though, I'm going to discuss kind of like my non-negotiables, my essential pieces. Organize my inventory a little bit today. I'm going to talk about kind of like my main mitigation set that I use. It's very high stamina. With decent defense rating, avoidance. It's not capped, but with good enough healers, that does not matter on this server. Trust me on this. But yeah, we'll go into it, and then I'm going to discuss, like, alternate pieces like always, and really just kind of narrow it down to, like, the bare essentials of, like, why you should use certain builds, why certain pieces synergize together well. Gonna be pretty rapid fire today. I don't want to waste anyone's time, so let's get right into it. So for my stamina high mitigation set with Divine Sankon, I think I'm at... I gotta actually get it on. Should be like... yeah, around 9,267 health, which is pretty good. With buffs, you can get up to like... honestly, with this, probably like 11, 9, 12. You won't have as much health as the S tier tank, the Bear Druid, but it's still very, very good, and you can run any level of content, just face rolling across the keyboard, basically, with that amount of health. Now, obviously, I don't expect every person to get that high of stamina, but these are just some pieces you can use to build, and this is what I think is, like, it might not be best in slot. I don't really give a fuck about any of that stuff, but this is what works for me. The Lawbringer Great Helm, your T1 helm. Really respectable stamina, okay strength, okay intellect, fire resistant, which is good for Molten Core, with the presence of might. You have to get a tier 1 like molten headpiece to get this, and it's all dependent on the difficulty you run. So if you run like normal, you'll get the normal headpiece, heroic headpiece, mythic headpiece, ascended, which is the highest level of raid on this tier. Get the ascended piece. I don't think this is actually best in slot by any means. I think I know what the actual best in slot is, but it's what I'm using just to maximize my stamina here. You still get the Amulet of the Gate Warden. This is off Cetus, the Silithus world boss. Pretty good stamina, 19. I think that's the highest neck I've seen. Maybe Idol and Talisman, 20. Mythic 10 is 20, but I'm not exactly sure on that. Good defense rating, good spell power. I'll go over like what I actually think is best in slot later, but it's what I'm using right now. Shout out to Navik, I think, for showing me this piece. I completely forgot about it. Yep, Dark Soul, still using them for the high stamina, and the hit rating that you just build everything else around. This is a crafted recipe. You have to have Honored with the Zandalar tribe, and then you go to the island for the blacksmithing recipe. The recipe's like solderites, thorium bars, and large opals. Every recipe is pretty much the same for the shoulders, chest, and legs of the Dark Soul. Go for like quick defense or stamina. I mean, anything you can get that gives you that extra boosted stamina, or if you want extra strength, you can probably go for a roll like that. The Winter Gale Cloak. There's a lot of items that are in the open world on this server. And you can upgrade them as you, like, kind of go through the different raid tiers. This is the Winter Gale Cloak in Winter Spring. It's right by Everlook off the main path in, like, Starfall Village. This piece alone with the enchant that I have gives you 32 stamina, gives you a lot of expertise. I am expertise and hit capped on this build, and this is just like my mitigation build. Yeah, pretty great piece. The Dark Soul Breastplate of Precise Might. I think I can get rid of this piece now and just use a different roll. Like, I'll probably switch to Dark Soul of the Beast and just get rid of the fire resist enchant. Because I don't need the extra 4 hit rating here, like I used to. A lot of stamina on this piece, and the enchant that I'm using is the Earth Warder Gambison Leatherworking Chest Enchant. You could also, like, other good chest enchants could be, like, the hit rating one, the expertise one, or, like, the Devil Saw Critical Strike one, I think is what it is. I don't use the 6-piece Lawbringer T1s. I just use the 3-piece. I feel like armor is important and it's good to stack it, but I don't think you necessarily need the 6-piece. And my strength's a little lower on this, so I don't know how much it would really increase by. I guess it would be like 780 something, which is not bad, but it's not really worth, in my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, and that's cool. The 6-piece is still great. Yeah, these are just really high stamina wrists. I think the only higher stamina wrists are like these really expensive Dark Iron wrists, and you have to get like a very specific roll on that to get higher stamina than this. Very, very low strength, very low int, but that does kind of scale well with paladins. And good CTC. Lawbringer handguards, pretty essential to run because it gets your hit rating to max. I don't know how they scale, like I think the normal ones give you like 6 hit rating, so the Ascended one only gives you 1 more hit rating. I could be wrong on that. I'm just running +7 strength because I don't need the expertise. So it gives you like total of 14 strength, built-in fire resist, which is going to be good for Molten Core, intellect, very similar to the wrists, honestly. Unmelting Ice Girdle. This is helpful for getting your expertise decapped. This drops off the Azahara world boss, Azurgus. Good strength, good stamina, especially with the Mountainous Belt Buckle enchant. You get 28 stamina. I probably switched this to like the Lawbringer Waist Guard for Molten Core because you get fire resist, but anything else, this is really good. I mean, it's still good. For fire res fights, you'll need to switch to like the belt, the T1 belt. Dark Soul Leggings of Stamina with the ZG enchant Presence of Might for the block value, defense rating, and stamina. Hit rating by 22. Without these pieces, I couldn't get my stamina to as high as I wanted to be, and with how Fierce Blows work, avoidance is not as important, in my opinion. One of the new pieces that dropped, the Acid Inscribed Greaves. I'm not sure if these drop off like one of like the new dragon bosses or something, but I guess these will go up in price when AQ drops on the server, which is still probably like 5 months, 6 months away. But it's good to have, and then the Acid Inscribed Shoulders or Acid Inscribed Pauldrons would be good to have for AQ. So I would get them now, and they're very good, probably best in slot. Anyway, right now, really respectable armor, 33 stamina with the +7 stamina enchant, good strength. I guess, for some ZG bosses, the nature res doesn't hurt. Hit rating by 15, expertise by 10. Very nice. You can see my expertise is even overcapped. But I don't think there's many pieces I can really change around. Using 1 etched amethyst ring, if I use 2, I could probably get my stamina like 10, or my health 10 higher. Probably not worth, because you're going to lose out on the expertise with the second piece. Etched amethyst ring. So this is a Hydraxan Waterlord's revered piece. Probably like 120 to 140 gold if I'm not mistaken. These are good tanking rings, but each roll, like magic DPS, melee DPS, and like healers all have their like different type of ring that brings the fire resist. Before I got the boots, I was using the inscribed protector's ring here. But yeah, this just gives me more stamina, and I don't care as much about defense rating with the healers I play with. And again, that could be group dependent. The heavy dark iron ring, I've seen this drop a lot of like Gar and stuff in Molten Core. I like every version of this ring, but it's very respectable armor, very, very good stamina, expertise, good defense rating. Pretty good piece, honestly. There might be some better rings here and there, but I think with how I'm building towards like just I'm basically trying to be a druid with the utility that paladins bring. The Deceiving Refraction. This is also a world boss, the Dark Shore boss, Sagoth. Um, Tanks try and get try and do your own Sagoth runs. I think for any tank, this is like a very good trinket. I mean, you get 29 stamina, so almost 300 health, and you absorb 2,500 damage. And it's a pretty short cooldown of 2 minutes. Speaking of short cooldowns, Signet of Vitality. This piece has been around since the server dropped. It's 80 marks of triumph, so just all you have to do is do like 5 runs of lower Sholomance on heroic, which at this point in progression, everyone's just like speed clearing in like 10 minutes. So it'll take you 50 minutes to get the Signet of Vitality if you're just starting. It's 25 stamina, hit rating by 12, and it has a use case where it increases your armor by 1350. So like that's why I'm not so worried about armor. Like, pop this, 11 for whatever, 11,000 something. I did spend some money to get the Ebon Hand of Defense. No idea where this drops or if it's like a crafted piece or whatever. I'm assuming it gets crafted or something because there's so many different roles. I just saw it on the auction house and I was like, oh, that looks really good. Very high damage weapon. I think the only damage weapon that would beat it or tie it, I guess, would be the Ancient Hikari Manslayer, which I did get last night in an Ascended ZG. But the staminas on this is good. It's not quite as high as the Dreaming Eternity, which is also Sagoth, but you get 20 attack power and 20 spell power, which is really nice. You get 7 defense rating on this roll and 6 stamina. There were even some more expensive Ebon Hands of Defense, ones that were leaning a little more offensive, but I just kind of broke the bank to get this piece. It was about 2,000 gold. And these boots are already going down to like 500 gold, so not really that expensive if you play on the server. I don't know if this is like, I don't really know about shields, if this is like really best in slot. I think it probably is. I mean, that armor's crazy with the stamina enchant, or you could probably do block value. You're looking pretty good. No defense rating, but like I said, that doesn't really matter. I need to upgrade this. I don't really run a lot of Mythic dungeons, but probably the best way to do Mythic dungeons is to just do like lower level Mythic dungeons, like Mythics 2 or 3, and then just upgrade items by like getting coins. So I'll probably have this upgraded to like Mythic 10 by the end of the day, I assume. Probably the highest stamina Libram. The Libram of Truth 10 is like 20 stamina. Still keep the +8 spell power. The defense rating will go up, I think, a little bit, and devotion ores, you know, it just helps the the whole raid or party. That's your job as a tank. You know, you're not supposed to just be doing one thing. You're not just supposed to be doing damage. You're not supposed to be just managing threat. You do have utility to provide. So, I like every number counts. So yeah, that's why I like main, like if I'm fighting a hard boss or something, like I'll use this set. And I'm gonna show off that kind of crit strike set again, just for some reference points. Actually no, I'll do that last. So I'm gonna talk about like how I kind of organize pieces, and I'm just gonna start again because we are doing like Molten Core mostly, most of us, and BWL's coming. So like start putting more stock in both fire and shadow resist. I'm going to show the fire res items that I use like pretty quickly, just so everyone kind of gets an idea of what you can do to make like Mythic and Ascended Molten Core that much easier. Eternal Quintessence, which is 25 fire resistance. You do probably need to do a couple Molten Cores with like Rep Aura or like do all the Duke Hydraxis quests to get this, because it is an exalted Hydraxan Waterlord's trinket, but it's very good on its use. You can increase your fire resist by 120. Blazing Emblem, you can just buy this out of the auction house pretty cheap. It's just a lesser version of the Eternal Quintessence, but on like Ascended Baron for like melt through, it's nice to like rotate these. Honestly, this shield is probably best in slot for like Molten Core and BWL. You get like 15 fire resist, 14 shatter resist, Pretty good stamina. You get shield block, dodge, and defense rating. It's a lot of people might disagree with me, but I again think they're wrong. It's either this or like the drill board disc, maybe dread guards, and then this has a very specific niche, which I'll get into later that I've discovered. Um, One ring to flame them all. This is in Ungoro Crater. It's in the middle of like the map in like the lava plume ridge. You have to like go under the lake. Pretty good all around. Ring, 14 fire resist, etched amethyst again. You can have two. They're not unique. The Ragnaros Band of Sulphurus drops. You can probably like get away with like running any of these, but these are ones that are like more geared towards tanks. I have like a ton in my bank, but these are the ones that are probably that are most geared towards tanks. 21 fire resist, 24 stamina, 11 health per 5 sec. I don't ever use these really, but you can. Band of Sulphur, so the Agile Defender. This one's more like CTC oriented. Still gives you decent stamina in plus 17, 20 fire resist, 12 defense rating, 10 dodge rating. You're just gonna get like a random roll on all of these. So if you're not spending Raiders commendations on like, let's see here, Primal Hikari idols, you should probably spend Raiders comms on like Band of Sulphurus if you really want to gamble. I mean, honestly, you can run normal or heroic MC like every 3 or 5 days, so you can get a lot of these. Scalebane Pendant. This is a Dust Wallow Marsh, world forged, just open world map piece, fully upgraded. 10 stamina, 10 fire resist, good CTC and defense rating all around. Those are pretty much like all my fire resist pieces. There's probably a couple more here and there. Like the T1 sets all have like a little fire or shadow resist on. Speaking, let's get into the T1 pieces. So like this is the Ascended T1 Great Helm. 10 fire resist. So the shoulders. I haven't gotten anything but the normal version of these, honestly. Probably the worst piece of the set. In my opinion, it's I'm sure the Ascended version with the increased shadow resist will have more uses in BWL, but this is like why I just don't like this. Like the stats, like you get your stamina from these Dark Soul pieces, and you just build everything else around them. And that's just kind of my philosophy. Lawbringer Wasteguard. This is like the mythic version. It's very good. I think this is like pretty high quality piece. Definitely best in slot or second best in slot behind Unmelting Ice. 25 stamina, 10 strength, 7 intellect, fire resist, defense by a lot more than the Unmelting Ice, I think. Yes, it is. So yeah, you can probably use like if I'm doing ZG, I'll just use this, and if I'm doing Molten Core, I'll just use the Wasteguard. Here's the Mythic Lawbringer Leggards. It has the Shadow Resist, which is going to be helpful for BWL. These are pretty good. I see nothing wrong with these. Very standard tanking set. Lawbringer Stompers. Pretty good. I guess if I added 7 stamina to this, it would put me even higher, but I don't. That might be overkill. Yeah, these are good. And the chest is good too. A lot of shield block, expertise, spell power. Like, they're good pieces. I just don't know if it's necessary to run all 6. Especially if you're not getting the pieces, so don't like stress about that. I have the Ascended Risk Guard, so I just wanted to show this for visibility. I'm going to show you some like kind of tertiary pieces that you can like put into your set as you continue to build your like T1, 3, or 6 piece or your Dark Soul pieces. Grand Crusader's Helm, good armor, shadow resist, good for BWL, good shield block, spell power, good stamina, solid piece. I think honestly, overall, it's probably like a C tier, but it's still good. Bone Clench Gauntlets, very good stats, expertise by 7, good shield block, good spell power, definitely usable. Magma Tempered Boots, not the kind of like a sub piece for the Lawbringer Stompers. This is the Ascended version, so this is like 33 stamina, yeah. More intellect for more mana sustain. Although if you are main tanking, that shouldn't be as much of a problem. A lot of spell power, good shield block, totally usable. So what's the fire resist? Maybe even better for like Rag than the Lawbringer Stomp because these don't provide any fire resist. Rune Golem Shackles, I'm never going to get this drop. In Mythic, I'm never going to get it. But very good for shield block rating and a very high stamina if you can't get like the Lawbringer wrist guards. Twilight Face Guard, if you don't have like the rep to get the Dark Iron Great Helm, or you don't have like the Ascended Great Helm or other stuff, A plus piece still, honestly. They're very cheap on the auction house. They're probably like 150 to 300 gold on average. They drop off Sagoth. Nothing more to say. It's just more like a raw stat item. There's not really any like cool equip effects. If you're running more offensive, this is like 40 gold on the auction house. Maybe not even that. The Darken Gaze, more strength, more okay stamina, middling intellect, but you do get critical strike and spell power. So if you're running like one of my like crazy offensive builds, like off tanking builds, totally usable. As we move closer to BWL, hopefully by end of February, early March, fluctuating Cloak of Shadow Resistance, good stamina, good dodge rating. So yeah, those are just like tertiary pieces that I use. Other trinkets that you can keep in mind would be the Defender of Timbermaw, Fellwood Rip, 20 stamina. You can get self-heal every 10 minutes, so like just use this on boss fights. Elder Pipe, if you don't want to use the Dark Soul pieces, this is a good piece to build your hit rating with and get your stamina up. Running a more traditional mitigation avoidance build, Echo of Ascension, still good stamina for a trinket, good shield block, and I don't know what the fuck the Echoes of Ascension do. I'm assuming they aid you in combat every 5 minutes, as it says, but yeah, no idea what they do. Fire Gut Emblem. This is the fully upgraded version. Pretty good piece, man. Like, defense rating by 25 on one piece is huge, and then you get all that CTC from that. And for like AoE trash, it's kind of does like fire damage to all of them. It definitely has its uses. It's up there. Owlbeast Talon. This is not fully upgraded. I still have one more version to get. This is Winter Spring. And sorry guys, I'm going fast. I know. Fellwood, Exalted, Searing Gorge, it's northeast of like Thorium Point, but you have to go in the mines. Echo of Asenia is in Asenia's Grove in Ashenvale. Fire Gut Emblems on Dreadmaul Rock in Burning Steps. Owlbeast Talon. This is not fully upgraded, but I am actually using this in my offensive tanking set. And I'll explain that at the end of the video for, you know, I had great success running it in Ascended ZG last night. Owlbeast Talon. This is Winter Spring. I'm assuming it's by owls or something because it's an Owlbeast Talon. But yeah, it's kind of like an RNG trinket. I when I first got this, I was like, this thing is stupid, but now I'm kind of liking it a lot. Damaging spells and abilities have a 12% chance to increase either your attack power, spell power, critical strike rating, haste rating, or armor pen for 10 seconds. So why not, huh? Honestly, this piece is goated. Pip's Chadstone, as I like to call it. This is in 1,000 needles. Like, east. As far as east as you can go on 1,000 needles. Good for stamina and just dealing a ton of nature damage to, like, AoE packs. Good critical strike, good spell pen. Tanking trinkets. This is probably more for warriors, but Grillix Charms of Might. Good for strength for 10 seconds, 30-second cooldown, which is nice. You can just spam this pretty much. Grillix Charm of Valor, CTC on demand, increases your block, dodge, and parry by 99 for 10 seconds. So, like, you don't have to run avoidance. You can just spam this trinket. It's on a 1-minute cooldown. You'll get everything to cap. Other, like, reputation pieces. Cenarian Infantry Helm. I use this in my my new offensive protection paladin DPS build. You need Exalted with Silithus. Grant Dark Iron Great Helm I've talked about. Exalted Hydraxon. Just a better version of like the Twilight Face Guard with hit rating and fire res. Stompers of the Argent Dawn, very good boot still. If not best in slot, very close still. Exalted Argent Dawn, very easy to get. Lava Crest Greaves, Exalted, Hydraxin. Certainly usable, especially for like Baron, Mag, and Rag. These are Thorium Brotherhood crafting pieces. Honestly, you only need like one or two of these. I just have no life and play this game a lot, so I got two. Dark Iron Bracers of the Unyielding. I guess it's like 28 stamina, 20 fire resist. This is more, it's like 30, it's 34 stamina. Pretty good. Dark Iron Gauntlets of Dodging. There's even better ones on the auction house. I just don't feel like spending that much gold. There's like the leggings, the Dark Iron leggings, and the helm, the Dark Iron helm. The Dark Iron leggings have like 1,000 armor, and then the Dark Iron helm has like 9, 11. Oh, that's dark. For like a more spell power focused build, more offensive, more mana sustaining build. I use these as in like a 3-piece build I'm about to show. The Zandalar Freethinkers, which is like the ZG Paladin sets. Wrist, waist, chest, all very similar. Stam, intellect, strength. Also using my offensive build, hence the name Bloodbath when I first coined that phrase. Blood-soaked pauldrons, blood-soaked leg plates, blood-soaked greaves. And here are just like other rolls of the Dark Soul pieces. And any of these rings are like usable. I'm not going to rank them like in a tier list. I already did that in another video. Prize Possession, 123 gold. Fellwood, Exalted, Timbermaw Exalted, whatever. Inscribed Protector's Ring, A+, honestly probably S tier as well. It's up there. Inscribed Protector's Ring, combined in Stormwind or Orgrimmar at the Jewelers. I talked about where they are a million times. I'm not going to do it again. Same thing, Inscribed Warriors Band. Same place as the Inscribed Protector's Band. Iron Guard Signet, also kind of similar to the Signet of Vitality. It's 80 Marks of Triumph. I don't really love these rings, but they like drop off of like Arlok maybe, or one of them drops off Arlok and ZG. But I guess if you use both, you get like dodge rating by 12. I'd probably just use one of them. I mean, I would lean towards Onyx Band because I'm a stamina fiend, and this gives you hit rating. They're still usable though. Like they're both good. Yeah, they're both good. Why wouldn't they be? Geoband, really great for building hit rating around. So if you do want to like run the 6-piece, like this could be a good item to use to help you build your hit rating up. For a more offensive attack power, maybe a Seal Twisting build, you can use Seal of the Barashi Berserker or whatever. I know I botched that. Next. Best in slot. Battle Weaver's Necklace. As I said, I'm running this just to show like how high my stamina can get. But this is very good. Battle Weaver's Necklace, 17 stamina, 15 agility, 11 intellect. Last night it dropped off of the fish boss, Gazrixaw, in a ZG. Although I think it also drops off Marley. I'm not exactly sure how like the loot tables work on this server, so I don't know everything. In fact, I know very little. Crystallized Amulet. This is a Stranglethorn piece. World Forged. If you're running like a traditional avoidance build, you can like pair this with the Echo Visenia and like the Argenton boots, and then get your hit rating from the Dark Soul pieces, and you'll get your block rating to like 40%. Very nice. If you are more traditionally minded. Talisman of Protection is also like, I see no reason why this isn't like also like S tier. At least the Ascended version. 16 stamina, 16 defense rating, dodge as well. Pretty good. Hydro Pendant. I only use this in my Fire Res set because my Fire Res set is so low on hit rating, and that's the thing with the T1 pieces is like they don't really provide any hit rating. The only one that does is the gloves, so you have to be like mindful about that. The Hydro Pendant, I just use in my Fire Res build to get my hit and expertise where I need them to be. Pure Offense, Insignia of the Shifting Sands, the Silithus World Boss Cetus. Also pretty offensive, but also defensive. The Medallion of Steadfast Might. Eidolon Talisman. I think on upgrade... Ooh, this squad could be good for BWL too. I'm not sure what the exact stats are on the Mythic 10, but I bet it's 20 stamina, probably 10 or 11 strength, and probably I'm just using like context clues based on how I've seen other pieces scale. I would imagine this is like 20 stamina. Yeah, so this piece is definitely rising in stock. Librams, let's go for like more offensive stuff first. The Archivist Guilford one, 8 strength, expertise. Firebrand Libram, World Forged Burning Steps. It is found, like, it's in Burning Steps. It's like south of like the main bridge into Blackrock Mountain. It's in like a wheelbarrow or cart. I saw like maybe a couple months ago Rets were using this piece a lot. And I don't think all of these are like fully upgraded, so you have to take the stats with a grain of salt. I just want to show them. Libram of Hope, again, very traditional block focused seal twisting Libram. If you're running more spell power, this is not a bad one to use. Libram of Remembrance, it increases your holy spell power. I don't think this is fully upgraded either, but I don't think the spell power changes. I think only the stamina changes, sadly. Martyr Cross Book, I actually moved this up to A tier. I've been using it a lot more. Good strength for a Libram, good hit. This gives you a lot more space to build around. Old War Tome, probably B or A tier. It's like very similar to the Libram of Hope. It just gives you defense rating. I don't think this is fully upgraded either. This is from the Ascended Molten Core raid. I would only run this if you're doing like a Mystic Enchant build that uses Crimson Defender and like Avenger's Shield MEs. But it's nice. I mean, it's good. It's up there, probably B tier. The only shield you really need now, in my opinion, would be Drill Bore. It's just a better version of the Aegis of the Blood God Hakar shield. Dreadguard's Protector, gonna be good for AQ, very good block value, very, very good. A lot of people think this is best in slot. I don't think it is anymore, but I think it is very good. Crimson Dragon Scale. Gonna be using this a lot in BWL and AMC. And now we can move into the final showcase that I will do before BWL drops, because I am pretty much done gearing. I mean, I have like Ascended T1 pieces to get, but that is really it. Alright. I showcased this build on like my video a couple days ago, but these are the changes I've made. So again, this is like a crit strike build that I have a lot of spell power on. I ran this just fine in Ascended ZG. I didn't use it on Hakar, but I think I use it on like pretty much every other boss. And the reason I switched to the Timber Mod Defender is because it does give me a little more defense rating, and it gives me that agility, which does scale well with how I built this. Like I said in the last video, like obviously I don't expect everyone to be like a no-life virgin like me, and you know, have all this gear or like all these pieces. But like if you do make a build, make sure it has a theme. You need to offer something, whether that's like high damage, high threat, you know, healing. You know, I've done like a heal tank build, off tanking, or you know, avoidance, like you're not going to ever die, or high stamina and you're not going to ever die. Like make sure you build around a certain theme. I think that makes you a better player. I think it makes you offer something that maybe other tanks wouldn't. And that's pretty much all I have to say about like gear building. But yeah, I'm using the Cenarian Infantry Helm now. I switched out the Dark Iron Great Helm. I will be running this with the Draenei in raids. Obviously, I would probably switch this with like the Dark Iron Great Helm to get my hit rating to 80 if I didn't have a Draenei. So Cenarian Helm, Battle Weaver's Necklace, a good agility. This is just for the critical strike and expertise. Blood-Soaked Pauldrons, agility, strength, stam. Winter Gale Cloak, pretty necessary for that expertise cap, and the spell power is nice, and it gives you that little bit of sustain with stamina. This is where I use some of the ZG pieces a lot more. The Zandalar Freethinker Breastplate, the wrists, and the belt. Dark Iron Gauntlets of Dodging. I added the expertise rating to them to get my expertise to cap. I'm sure there's other things you can run, like maybe Bone Clenched if you want a little more defense. Maybe Fist of Phalanx for more strength and some more int. Blood Soaked Leg Plates, also Ascended ZG, very high strength, and it still gives me some defense rating. Blood Soaked Greaves with +7 agility for my crit chance. Geoband, very good. Inscribed Warriors Band, Owl Beast Talon, the Winter Spring World Forged one, gives me agility and intellect. I've got to get this upgraded, but I don't have the means to do so. Pip's Radstone, more damage. Ascended Scepter of Smiting with the Spell Power enchant. It seems to work fine. I might switch it to the Ebon Hand of Defense just for a little more sustain and like the attack and spell power. I haven't really tested it because I just got this today, and obviously it's not enchanted. Timber Maw Defender. I use it for the agility, the crit, good stamina. I'll probably add either block or stamina to this. Martyr Crossbook. Guess I should add spell power to this now because I'm using this build. Yeah, it can get expensive, so yeah, make your build have a theme. that's the oh, and this is a World Forged Felwood, like North Felwood. It's like right by where the Timber Maw Quartermaster is, like outside, I think. So yeah, like this is just like for like high damage off tanking. You can also main tank with it. I did just fine with it the other night. You can check the Ascended ZG stream. And I just hope everyone has a great day. I know these builds and everything can be like sometimes overwhelming. They're overwhelming for me, trust me. But I hope everyone enjoys the videos. I know I can be a bit sardonic, but I hope everyone has like a great day and hopes everyone enjoys the video. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to hit me up on Discord or YouTube or whatever. I stream and play this game a lot, perhaps too much. But yeah, I'm just kind of getting ready for BWL now. That's kind of where my mindset's at. It's my favorite raid of all time, so cheers.